Hi, Britlet students. Welcome to English 242, which is British Literature 2. This course is a survey course, which means that we're going to be covering a large amount of time in a very short class. So the period of time we're going to be covering is from the 1700s to present. It's a lot of time. So that means we're not going to read everything in our textbook or anything, from every single year. There's just no way. As much as I would love to do that, there's just no way. So just keep in mind that we're just sort of touching down in each period of time and reading some pieces that are representative of that time period. So that's one way that I love to teach literature, and that you'll very much get used to seeing in this class, is that I believe that understanding the time period and the historical context around a piece of literature is really important to understanding that piece of literature. Now, there are multiple ways to view and interpret any piece of literature. And in fact, in the first week of this course, we're going to start talking a little bit about, well, why do we study literature? And then in the second week of the course, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about literary theory, which just simply says, here are all kinds of different ways that we can look at literature and ask it all kinds of different questions. So keep in mind two things when we talk about interpreting literature. One, there is no one right answer. There is not one meaning that a piece of literature has. Literature is art, which means that once the author writes it and puts it out into the world, everyone who reads it comes to that piece of literature with their own questions, with their own points of view, and so they'll have their own interpretation. So there are multiple ways to interpret any one piece of literature. And as long as you can support your interpretation by pointing to specific places in the literature, your interpretation's fine. So there's a lot of freedom in interpreting literature as long as we're kind of honest about the questions that we're asking, and as long as we recognize the historical period and the context in which that piece of literature was written. So as we move from time period to time period, the first thing we're going to do is establish the context. What was going on in England and around the world to a certain degree during that time, because that's the period the author lived in. Nothing is written in a vacuum. So everything that's happening in society matters to these authors and then to the literature that they're writing as well. So keep in mind, we're going to kind of work through each period that way. So for the course, you basically have two types of activities in each piece of literature and in each time period. The first are discussion boards. They're kind of the heart of this class. If this were a face-to-face class, these are the types of things that I would be asking you and we would be talking about in the classroom together. A literature class really is discussion, because I want you to read the literature and interact with it and see what other people's ideas and points of view are too. So the discussion boards are the heart of the class. The other thing that you'll be doing in this class is submitting assignments. So you're going to have some very short essays. These are called short analysis essays, and they are short. You are not to go past 3 pages. They are 2 to 3 pages. That's it. Because I want you to work with these pieces of literature in these assignments in a way where you get to the point, you support it, and then you get out. So these are kind of quick hit analysis essays. The other type of assignments that you're going to be turning in have to do with a research project. The final draft of the research project is not due until the last day of class in May. So over the course of the semester, we're going to put it together in pieces. So you're first going to turn in a topic proposal, which I'll talk quite a bit about whenever we get there. Then you're going to turn in a brief outline and a bibliography of your research. Then you'll turn in the first draft, where I can give you lots of feedback, and then the final draft. So over time, we're building the pieces to create that final draft, which is due in May. That's really it. That's what this class is made up of. So a couple of things as far as expectations. Number one, I expect that in each module, you read everything, you watch every video that I post, and then you move into the assignments. So the reading and the assignments and in the videos are there to support the assignments. And so it's often very clear to me when students don't do that. So just that's one of my expectations, is that you're going to read everything and you're going to watch everything before you start doing the assignments that are further down in the module. Think about working through each module from the top down, because everything's going to be put in kind of that order. Introduction, background material, the reading, and assignments. They're all going to be structured that way. They're going to follow the course schedule identically. So let me show you a few things about how I've set up the course, just so you are comfortable with it. So this is the Moodle page. Obviously, I haven't fully developed it yet because I'm still early in the process. But if you take a look at the links on the left-hand side, this is where everything in the course is going to live. This is all kind of the background info. Your syllabus will be posted here, the schedule there. This is my info, contact information, office hours, assignment sheets for everything. And I've posted too, let me show you quickly, sample assignments. So if you're wondering what a short analysis is supposed to look like, there you go. Here's what your topic proposal is supposed to be like. Here's your outline and bibliography. Here's the research project. So I basically showed you what I'm looking for. And then here is the first week of class where we are right now. And then every other period of the class is outlined here. Notice these labels, they match what's on the course schedule. So start here, literary theory, romantic, Frankenstein, Victorian. That's exactly what you have here. Start here, literary theory, romantic, Frankenstein, Victorian, so on. So on the schedule, anything next to this section is in that section. So for example, literary theory, the second week of class, you've got the Giving Tree, which is posted on Moodle, both text and video. There is a PowerPoint video for you to watch, and then a discussion board that you'll do. All of that is in this section. When we get to the romantic period, notice it lasts for 2 weeks. So you've got reading and a video to watch. Then you've got these authors to read, Blake and Wordsworth, a discussion board about them with their due dates. Then 2 more authors, Wollstonecraft and Coleridge, and a discussion board about them with their due dates. And then our final authors, Byron, Shelley, and Keats, a discussion board about them and your short analysis. All of this is contained in that section in Moodle. So it'll be listed there in order. So this discussion board will come first, this one will come second, this one will come third, but notice they have the same due dates, and then the short analysis will be at the end. So this course schedule and the way that the Moodle class is set up are exactly the same. I love this class. It's probably my second or third favorite class to teach. My all-time favorite class to teach is Brit Lit 1. But this one and mythology, those are my top 3. The reason I love literature so much, and it's really what got me into wanting to be an English major and wanting to teach English, is because I think it mirrors who we are as human. And not only does it confirm my experience of life and the things that I wrestle with and struggle with and hope for and dream about, but it also makes me aware of the way other people experience life. So I can help myself be more compassionate and be more connected to my world if I'm willing to interact with the literature in a really honest, open way. That's part of why I love literature so much. Yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it's fun, and it has some good ideas. But I really find that it's the humanity that's represented that makes it powerful. It's why we still read Beowulf 1,000 years later. It's why we still read Shakespeare 400 years after his death. So I really find power in this, and it's why I love teaching these classes so very much. So I really look forward to working with you over the course of the semester. The first week is all about introductions, getting to know each other, getting to know the class, and then really pondering that question that I just kind of touched on. Why literature? Why do we keep studying it, and what do you find powerful in it? And then from there, we'll get moving. I look forward to working with you this semester and walking through some of my all-time favorite pieces of literature. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. And I look forward to reading your assignments and discussion boards.